It's time for Andrew Rants, because Andrew's going to tell us what's going down. It's time for Andrew Rants, because when he gets mad, he starts to scream and shout. It's time for Andrew Rants. Get your earplugs ready, because he's about to shout. It's time for Andrew Rants. Who'll keep this theme song? Hello everybody, and welcome to another exciting and fun-filled episode of Andrew Rants, the video series where I stand upon my metaphorical soapbox pedestal of the world, and I bitch and complain about a lot of stuff that just plain pisses me the hell off. And today is really no exception. So, for those of you that are unaware of it, video games seem to be going down one massive trail, and that trail is downloadable content. Now, I'm all for games adding some extra stuff to them from time to time, and I'm all for the whole process of, hey, you don't have to worry about having a disc anymore, because those things can get scratched up, you can lose them, or in the case of me and my constant battles with my old PS2 systems, the system just craps out and I can't play them anymore. Whereas digital content, you can still play, provided your system still works. So, there are good and bad with it. However, what annoys the crap out of me has to be the fact that downloadable content seems to be the way of the future, and it's not exactly a welcomed future. Now, as I said, I'm all for stuff getting newer content added to it over time. I mean, imagine some of your older classic games if they would have had DLC. I think Super Mario World would have been kind of interesting if it had had DLC. Of course, people probably would have been pissing and moaning, and in all honesty, I could see their point. But with newer games, it seems as though DLC is a poison that we, the fans, are just stuck with. Now, the reason why I say this is quite simple. When you have downloadable content, you often have two major issues. The first issue is the fact that regardless of how you feel about it, you're stuck not actually having a complete game. Now, I know people can say, but there were games that weren't really complete originally. However, back when games were just released on a standard disc with no DLC attachment with them, in all honesty, they were. If it wasn't in the game, it wasn't supposed to be in the game. Or if it wasn't in the game but it's planned on coming out, then it's probably going to be part of a sequel, a potential sequel game, or a follow-up game. But with DLC now, it's basically, nope, it'll just be out in a couple months, and then you'll just have to pay money for it, which pisses me off. A tremendous amount of characters in fighting games end up blocked behind a paywall. Oh, well, you can get it via the downloadable content DLC when it comes out later this fall, but it's going to come at a hefty price of like $59.95. And that's just to get 3 fighters that we advertised already in the trailers for this game, but decided not to put them in because we want to make sure you spend that money. Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of the Dragon Ball fighting games for that, and a few Mortal Kombat ones. Hell, basically any fighting game, really. Even majority of games seem to be doing this. Downloadable content is the new wave of the future, and honestly, it's not a welcomed wave. Now, like I said, I'm all for games getting newer content added to them. It keeps them fresh and relevant, but there's a difference between, oh, I love this new game, I think it's so great, to, oh, great, I just got this game, it took me 3 hours to beat the story mode, but I have to piss up $90 just to be able to get the season pass to get the next 6 parts of this story when they're released in like 2 to 3 months apart. Yeah, no. Why is it that we can't just have a game that's released and actually be the whole game, and then have the extra stuff pushed out as like, oh, a bonus, like, hey, you liked our game so much, hey, we're glad to hear that. Hey, here's an idea. How would you like to spend an extra like $5 and get 10 extra characters? We know you're gonna play this game for a while, so why not why not do it? Piss out $5 and we'll give you the good characters. It's almost like DLC is in a way hooking you to play more of the game. Oh, well, we know you liked the game. You were playing the game for 16 hours last night, or records tell us that because it's an online game. That's how you're getting your downloadable content. Yeah. Here's an idea. How about you pay for the whole season pass? That way, you don't have to worry about individual DLCs when they come out and buying them individually, and you'll get some extra promo bonuses that the others won't get. Don't worry, it'll be our little secret. therein lies the issue that I have. It's the fact that everybody and their grandma can just download the new content, and in all honesty, it's a fruitless endeavor at that point. I mean, why bother having the content if you have to download the content then? I mean, come on. Just give me the whole complete game right off the bat. I kind of feel like those people at the old Nintendo conferences when Reggie Fils-Aimé, when Reggie, I should just say, I can't pronounce his last name to save my life, but when Reggie was still the head of Nintendo, and all of a sudden you would hear this, "Come on, Reggie, give us Mother 3. I could just suddenly be a person at one of these video game conferences like E3 or something going, "Come on, Bethesda, give us a functioning game. A full, complete, functioning game." Nah. And that seems to be, like I said, the way that all of these games are going. It's basically, no, screw you. We're not giving you what you want. We're not going to give you the complete full game right off the bat. What you're going to get is you're going to get a teaser for the game. And then 2 or 3 months after the game releases, we'll drop some DLC for you. Maybe half a year if we feel generous. Give you a good time to really soak up that demo goodness. Then we'll charge you an arm and a leg for that DLC. Oh, sure, we'll make a couple of them free, but just think of it. DLC. You're gonna want it. And now with the newest Pokemon game coming out down the road, Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's rumored that that too is gonna have DLC. So, of course, that makes me wonder, well, what's the DLC gonna be? I mean, we already are not going to be having the National Pokedex, which is still pissing me and quite a few dozen other people off. And this Pokemon Masters game that's coming out for the Android and iOS systems is not going to be a deterrent to quell our pissed off rage. Although, in all honesty, if I could play it on my tablet, I might give it a shot. But in all honesty, it's not going to quell our unbridled rage. Still, what DLC could you possibly have for a Pokemon game? I mean, come on. And I know somebody out there is going to go, but Pokemon games have had DLC before. Yes, in the form of, here's a Pokemon exclusive to your system, exclusive to the generation that you're in, and good news, you can go to GameStop and get it. Or you can go to Toys R Us and get it. I'm, of course, talking about Manaphy, and then later on Genesect, Keldo, and some of the other Pokemon that were released, some of which I missed, including Genesect, which pisses me off, but still, you get my point. What annoys me more is the fact that Nintendo and Game Freak, you know they're going to capitalize on this. Oh no, you're not going to be able to complete the game just yet. Oh, you spent 6 hours, crafting the perfect Pokemon team, going into the first gym battle. Well, hope you had fun playing the first gym, because the next one's going to be DLC. That's how it's going to be for the next few gyms, too. And don't worry, this trend's going to continue into the near future. Yeah, that seems to be the main issue that we're going to be having, is the fact that this is a trend that is going to continue for years to come. Of course, Nintendo doesn't have any bright ideas, and Game Freak is still just coasting on the popularity of Pokemon, which, in all honesty, Sun and Moon sucks, okay? I'm just going to come out and say it. Both the game and the series, alright? They both suck. X, Y, and Z were the best series that you had. X and Y were the best games that you had. Sun and Moon was a train wreck dumpster fire that crashed into the side of an acid storm. And now we're getting Sword and Shield, which is putting more effort into the graphics than into the actual continuity of the game. Sure, you have over 800 some Pokemon, yet the sprites and everything exists for them already, courtesy of the 3DS games. All they slightly need is a slight rendering, which, oh, guess what? A majority of your programs can do. Just save them in a different format, you morons. It's not that difficult to do. I mean, hell, look at how you make a video and how you do movie making, and it's really easy to show you how it's done. But of course, this was Game Freak's brilliant idea because then, like I said, DLC, which is what's rumored to be happening. We're probably going to get DLC with a Pokemon game since it's going to a home console system. So of course, you're going to have a possibility of newer Pokemon to come out from the DLC. But Pokemon isn't the only game that gets away with this nightmare and a tragedy. And a travesty at that point. You also have fighting games. Oh, you liked battling against that character. Well, guess what? In 5 months, you'll get the opportunity to download that character if you bought the season pass. Or for games like, I'm going to go with Dragon Ball Fighters and Dragon Ball, what was that one? Oh god, the one that they, Xenoverse. That's it. I have to think for a minute. It's going to be DLC, DLC, DLC. You want to know what that equals and stands for? It doesn't really, at this point anymore, stand for downloadable content. It stands for damn longer connection. Because that's what you're going to be hoping that you have to download this son of a bitch. I guarantee you a majority of these upcoming files are probably going to be a couple gigs in length. So anybody that has like an El Cheapo internet connection, well, they really hate you, don't they? Because it's going to take you about 18 hours to download a 15 gigabyte file. Hell, when I have to do a Windows update with my internet connection, it takes at least 7 hours. 7 hours to download a featured update. So if I had to go from, let's say, well, I'll use this as an example. When I updated to 1803 from the version before that for Windows, it took 8 hours. I'm not even joking here. 8 hours. I had nothing else connected to the network but my desktop computer. 8 hours to download. 8 hours. 8 hours for a 4 gigabyte file. Now, let's look at a 15 gigabyte file. If you have an El Cheapo connection, but you really want to get that DLC that you just paid $70 for, good news! 18 hours later, you'll have it. Provided, of course, you don't lose internet connection or it doesn't time the bleep out. Yeah, because that's the thing. A connection can time out too, morons. Oh, and then guess what? You'll probably have to pay another $79.95. Yeah, I know the price keeps going up because guess what? They don't care! DLC has become the wave of the future, and it has also become a massive screw you to the fans. It is a middle finger to everyone that enjoys video games. Because basically it's, oh look, here's the game. Gee, I wonder what content they cut out of this and make for a DLC. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think the downloadable content is a good idea, or do you think that it's officially gone one step too far and should be taken back to form a little bit? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and until next time, I'm Andrew Rhodes, and this has been Andrew Rants.